And we're live. Welcome, friends. J Lash with the thumbs ups. Appreciate you. Happy Friday. I always know I will have an excellent stream if we see J Lash and his thumbs ups. But you never talk, J Lash. You don't even know if you're here. You're always lurking. What's that about? The distribution of FBC says, yay. Greetings, friend. And Miko is here, says, hello, Sadie, and Super Antonio. Hello, mods. Howdy, folks. Sadie is here. She's resting quietly. Christian says, howdy, folks. Happy Friday to all of you friends. Glad you have joined us. Don't forget to like the live stream. Super Antonio would appreciate it. I certainly would. But you know what I appreciate more, Christian, is you being here. Cruz says, hello, Super Antonio, Sadie, and everyone. Christian says, howdy, Cruz. And Nathaniel Williams says, hello. We are doing bad honor nature photography. What does that mean? We are collecting nature photography for the ambient shorts that I do that I put up at noon. David's here. David says, hello, youngsters. Greetings, David. How are you doing? We made it to the weekend, friend. How are you? And what's for dinner? Your weekend is the start of my week. Your Friday is my Monday. Not complaining, just telling you how it is. So right now we're trying to sneak up on the White Arabian, but the weather is not cooperating. We want to just get some footage of her running around, frolicking, but not in this weather. Tony's 22 says, greetings from Fort Lauderdale. Shout out to Florida. Greetings, Tony. And Hope Ryerson says, hello all. Hope has entered the chat. We are once again full of hope and so happy. What was I going to say? Yeah, so we're doing nature photography, and if we run into anybody, we'll do something bad honor to them. Just to make it an official Bad Honor Friday. But mostly this is footage for the shorts that we do at noon. 9 viewers in the chat. Welcome, friends. Appreciate you being here. Oh, the big news is I got an Amazon Associates. I don't know what it is. I got Amazon. I put Amazon links in the video descriptions and at the top of the chat because it's an easy way to support the channel if you shop at Amazon. So all you have to do, you don't have to like buy the product. You just have to click on the link. Even if you click on the link and go to the site, I get like pennies, a fraction of a penny, but it all adds up. But anything you buy within 24 hours, if you've clicked on my link first, I'll get a commission on it. So if you're like going on Amazon anyways, you know, to buy supplies or whatever, you might as well give me the commission because it's at no cost to you, no effort, no extra cost to you. And it's a really easy way and passive way to support the channel. And David has just gifted 5 Super Antonio memberships, which have been picked up very quickly. Well done, David. Appreciate you, friend. Shout out to David and new members at, I assume, the Valentine level. Orichi, Matthias, Mr. D Stop Motion, Seeker, and Turtles. Greetings, Turtles. I know Turtles. Membership benefits. The main one is I will answer your comments. I will respond to your comments. You have priority in the comments, and you get early access to videos. And also, we put your name in the end credits. Thank you, David. Appreciate it. Brett Tucker says, Antonio, I'm not ready soon. I'm going to be starting a low honor playthrough for the first time. Well done, Brett. It's it's fun. It's fun being bad, and it's freeing. If someone angers you, you can just shoot them. Someone cuts you off, if you crash your horse, and it's kind of funny. But I can't be bad. I can't antagonize Miss Tilly and Mary Beth. I just can't do it. Abdenor says hello. Greetings, Abdenor. Hello, friend. Happy Friday. FBC says, how's your day going? It's going quite well. Thank you, friend. Sadie, regrettably, is very tired and sleeping on the job. We played a lot. We played tug of war and chase, and she's very strong. I can lift her up. She can hang off me. Well, I can't lift her off the ground with one arm. Like a one arm 50-pound dumbbell. Can't do that. But it's she'll hang off me. She's very strong, and so she enjoys that. And then she saw a lot of her friends on our walk. So she got lots of dog interaction, and that always tires her out more than usual. Hope says, I didn't know Amazon Associates worked like that. I use Amazon often. I'll use your link in the future. Appreciate that, Hope. Shout out to Hope, who has given the Amazon Associates business venture hope. Appreciate you. I personally spend at least $100 a month on Amazon. I get groceries from them. Things I don't want to carry. Rice, what else? Peanut butter. And lots of dog food. And I have Amazon Prime, so that makes it easier for me. Christian says, hope Odog is here. He might just be lurking. He is a man that needs to be studied immediately. Well done, Christian. Yeah, he might be here. He's probably here. Cruz says, maybe Sadie is introverted to an extent. She's not shy, and she has big dog energy outside and little dog energy inside. She thinks she's a baby inside. I don't think she's particularly introverted, but I do think she just expresses herself so hard. She plays really hard, and it tires her out. And she wants to assert her dominance. And her friends are all dogs that let her be the big dog, be the alpha. Even she has a friend who's a Cane Corso, who she saw tonight, who's very gentle and just lets her run all over him. And he's just tired and gentle and very, a gentle giant. And Daisy gets to puff up and say, I'm big, I'm the one, I'm the alpha. Brett asks, Super Antonio, who is your favorite gang member? Hosea, Charles, of course. I would say for Arthur, Charles, and for me, Hosea probably. Hosea and Charles. But I like all of them. It's I like Bill. And his repressed sexuality and his, I like Javier. I like all the gang members. I do. Who's your favorite, Brett? And Ben says, just a tad bit late, but made it just in time, Ben's. And we're going to be here for a while. We always go for extra long streams on Fridays because you're all here. Nathaniel Williams says, I'm back. Greetings, Nathaniel. Appreciate you, friend. David says, welcome all to the live stream. Make sure to like, subscribe, and tell your friends. Yes, please. Share the stream. Cruz says, I never understood why Hosea chose the outlaw lifestyle given his character. Well, he's a good bad guy. He was a good influence on Dutch. And, it's an easy lifestyle. You don't have to work. It's a lifestyle that appeals to people who think work's too hard. But robbing a bank or deceiving someone or stealing from someone is somehow easier. As long as we're here, we might as well investigate that structure. Weather, of course, is not cooperating. I've said many times that anywhere you turn in this game, you will find a beautiful landscape. And I have been filming them for the shorts. David says he's a con man through and through. Yes, David, you cannot believe a single word he says. I enjoy sharing those. It's not necessarily for you guys because you guys, you already know how beautiful this game is. But if we can just find one person who clicks on one of my waterfall links, shorts, and watches it and is like, wow, I never knew Red Dead Redemption 2 was that beautiful, and is intrigued enough to watch some playthroughs, subscribe to the channel, or, you know, actually play, you know, buy a copy and play the game, then, you know, we keep this game alive. We keep this game alive with new viewers or new players. And I think one of the most attractive features for me personally for this game is the open world and the beautiful landscapes, the beautiful vistas, the scenery. And I don't think it gets enough attention. So anyways, that's why I do ambient shorts at noon almost every day, if not every day. There's nothing in this cabin, this smashed cabin, except a cheat code, which I will show you. And I don't know what the cheat code is, but I'm sure someone in the chat does. Christian says, hey, also glad to be telling you I will be turning 14 in a couple of weeks on the 29th. I'm doing quite well in school, passing with mostly 80s, 100s, only 2 bad grades I have as ELA 76, but I'm working. What are your bad grades in, Christian? What are you weakest in? And what are you strongest in? FBC asks, what do you think is the closest horse to resemble Arthur's old horse? You flourish before you die. And the map. I believe it's the liver chestnut Hungarian half-bred for Boadicea, if that's who you're talking about. And David says, well done, young man, to Christian. Keep it up. Brett says, excluding Arthur and John, I would probably say Javier. Yeah, I wouldn't include John. I don't consider him a gang member. I mean, he is, of course, but, you know, we can play as him. Cruz says, I just found out about the trinket under the waterfall on that side of the map not too long ago, LOL. The Raven Claw trinket, I don't think it's Raven Claw, it's Raven something. And Tony says, I have Micah serving a life sentence at the Strawberry Jail. Well done, Tony. We'll be breaking them out because I kind of decided to do a Bad Honor playthrough to Chapter 6. Just to see what kind of extra dialogue we get, Bad Honor dialogue. And I want to film the Bad Honor Coyote. So at some point we'll be breaking Mike out of jail. Just not right now. David says don't use them. Not sure what, David, but I agree with you and stand by you and support you. Now we're going to walk up the Dakota River. Again, looking for views and Bad Honor nature photography. Ben says, today marks my second day of streaming. My friend is using his Twitch account to stream out our Dead Rising gameplay challenge. It's pretty fun. We got 2 viewers for the first 3 hours. Gotta start somewhere. Technically, Brett, I started on Twitch, so it's a great place to start. David says, Hawk Talon maybe. Yeah, I believe you're right, David. That's for Nathaniel. Cruz says, looking forward to what approach you used to free Micah, Super Antonio. We're just going to go in guns blazing, I believe. and just maximize the bad honor. Christian says, it's science. I have a 70 and ELA. What's ELA? English Lost Americans is a 76. I know I'll get my grade up to for ELA. I'm working science. Not so sure it is difficult for me, but the rest of the classes are easy. David says, cheat codes. Oh yeah, I don't use them either. You're weak in science, but 70 is not bad. 70 is not, that's easily improved. You know the 20-minute trick. I use that all the time for making videos. But it was designed for students. You study for 20 minutes, and then you take a 2-minute break. And during the 2 minutes, you do, you can't really play a video game, but you can relax. You can do some push-ups. You can, eat something. You just take a break. And then you move on to either a different subject for 20 minutes or return to that subject for an additional 20 minutes. And you just take 2-minute breaks every 20 minutes. And what it does is it helps you retain more information, helps your memory, helps you learn more. So you should try that. Ben says English, literature, arts. And Christian says ELA is language, arts, writing, basically. Okay, yeah, that can be improved as well. Odog is here. Odog has the Arthur emoticon and says, sup, Davy boy, sup, Super Antonio. Greetings, Odog. Christian was asking about you. And Christian says, Odog, you need to be studied on the way you show up out of nowhere, friend. And Cruz says, hi, Odog. And Ben says, sup, Odog. David says, double OG, triple OG. Odog says, what I do? Oh, you're a missed, friend. That's what you did. Happy Friday. David, what's for dinner? Odog, what's for dinner? I had chicken salad. Not as in chicken salad in a sandwich, but it was the rest of my rotisserie chicken on top of a salad. And it was delicious. Brett says, Super Antonio, what do you think is the most beautiful place in the game? Probably Lake Oangila. But I'm going to find you some beautiful places right now. Just running up the Dakota River. Ben says, I was bored, so I shaved the middle of my mustache off to make a Fu Manchu. Average 14-year-old's activities, I guess. Okay, Benz. That's one way to do it. Odog says, barbecue grilled steak and taters and onions. That sounds delicious. And David had a spicy chicken sandwich. I like everything about that, David, except the spicy part. Nathaniel says, how is everyone? And Odog says, hi, Nate. We are quite well and happy to be here. Cruz says, currently staving off hunger, Super Antonio, in pursuit of my summer diet to cut weight. LOL. Well done, Cruz. What is it? It's April. You got plenty of time. You can do it, friend. Christian says, Super Antonio, what was for your dinner? And for Sadie, I had hot dogs and quesadillas with cheese and ham. Very good. That sounds delicious. I had a chicken salad, as in chopped up chicken on top of a bed of lettuce. And it was delicious. B. Reg asks, where is your horse? We left the horse at the top of the cliff, and we are currently basically walking up the Dakota River, looking for Scenic vistas to photograph. 18 viewers in the chat. Welcome, friends. Appreciate you being here. Brett says, I have the opposite problem. I can't gain weight. I've been the same weight for 3 years, no matter how hard I try. Brett, up your protein content. Maybe add an extra, protein shake. I mean, if you seriously want to gain muscle and not fat, you will probably need to eat like an extra 200 calories a day of, quality muscle, of quality protein, beef, eggs, dairy. You can do it, but you got to be disciplined about it. And here are some Hungarian half-breeds that are a long way from home. Ben says, I used to turn off the invincible cheat in Red Dead 2 and go base jumping off cliffs. Pretty fun. Wouldn't try it in real life. And Odog adds, extra meal. Yeah, you need an extra meal. Whatever your maintenance is, you need at least 200 to 300 calories more than that. But not like pizza and ice cream, quality protein. Cruz says, yeah, Brett, I'm a hard gainer too. Just eat more. Yeah, and don't forget, you have to lift heavy and get your sleep. Odog says, yep, extra calories. Brett says, I just need some faith. Odog says, peanut butter, high protein stuff. There was a YouTuber, he sadly passed away, called Rich Piana. I don't know if you remember him, but I used to watch him. Mostly because he was ridiculously big. He was like silverback gorilla big. You can Google him if you don't remember him. But he also he injected oils, and he was a fan of the special medicine gum, or the super serum, Steve Rogers super serum. Yeah, I think he had a stroke or something. But I'm sure it was related to all the special medicine gum he was ingesting. But he would put like half a cup of peanut butter into his protein shakes in the morning. I kind of remember him. They were like, he'd put cereal in there, like, Rice Krispies, and he had his own line of like protein and fitness products, and he put his own like 2 scoops of that, of his protein, then peanut butter, and then ice, and then like water, and in like a big giant 72-ounce thing. But yeah, he was fun to watch. He was an old YouTuber. 2016 maybe, I think he died. Ben says, I saw the Appaloosa short. I need the brown leopard showcase. It's my baby. Yeah, I just put that up impulsively because horse shorts do quite well. Odog says, I haven't seen the shorts. And Cruz says, there's a new younger YouTuber called Sam Sulek on the same path. His vlogs are interesting as he grows as a lifter. Yeah, I was more interested in Rich Piano because of his lifestyle, and his insane workout routine, and he was succeeding as a businessman and also also a YouTuber. But he used his YouTube to showcase his physique and advertise for his fitness products. So his YouTube videos, while very entertaining, were basically just infomercials for the stuff he was selling. His T-shirts and workout gear and meal plans, all that. FBC says, can I copy your outfit? Of course you can. It's all available. That jacket may not be available for two. The jacket he's wearing is the Nueva Paraíso. So you need the Ultimate Edition. Odog says, free country FBC. Yes, we are in America, the land of the free. Brett says, a lot of WWE wrestlers from the 80s unfortunately passed away due to special medicine gum use. I don't know if we're allowed to say that word. Odog says, LOL, that honor bar is lower than mine at the moment. Yeah, we're working on it. We will get to max low honor if we take him to Chapter 6, which I plan to do eventually. Ben says, after my main save file opening up a new stable slot after Buell, I was having trouble finding a beautiful horse after him. The brown leopard was the chosen one. The brown leopard Appaloosa. David says, I've used it for a playthrough, and FBC asks, can I buy the limited edition, the ultimate edition of Red Dead 2 now? Yes, you can. I'm sure it's still available. I'm sure you can buy it used on the Bay of Ease, and or you can get it from the Rockstar website. I'm sure they're still selling it. Cruz says, I wish the Nuevo Paraíso jacket had the worn-in look like his other ones. Would have been perfect. And Will Krefeld says, what's up? Great game. Greetings, Will. I apologize for not being able to pronounce your last name. I hope I didn't butcher it. Callum says, my bad for not being in past streams, just catching up on sleep. Currently on Epilogue, Chapter 2 also. Greetings, Callum, and shout out to Ireland. Well done, friend. You need your sleep. Odok says, reverse dapple black thoroughbred and the Nuevo Paraíso gear and saddle for the Ultimate Edition. Also, you got free guns. You get a free volcanic, a free varmint, a free something else. I don't remember. And you get discounts at the store and in camp. Like for camp upgrades. Christian says, happy Friday to all you fine folks. Glad you have joined us on today's live stream with Super Antonio and with the channel dog Sadie, the co-host, who is always sleeping by Super Antonio's side. Well, actually, she moved to the crate, but we can move her back with some potent canine bait. Callum says, not feeling too tired currently, so just staying up till I start yawning. Okay, can you look at the camera, please? We're trying to work here. There she is. Say hi to David and Odog and Cruz and Callum and Christian. FBC says, yes, you do get the Eagle Talisman. Those are fine-looking spurs. Ben says, I've never found the Arabian anything special. Some of its coats are different, but some of the mid-tier horses are better to me. Arabians run away, while the Andalusian will dig you out of a bad spot. Very well put, Benz. Callum says, Sadie, straight up for that treat, LOL. Yes, and back to the crate she goes. You know she means business when she goes to that crate. Christian says, hello, Sadie, you're beautiful as always. Hope your potent bait that Super Antonio is giving you is good. Yes, she enjoys it. It's two of her favorite foods. 1 unit of peanut butter and 1 unit of banana. And you can craft it into potent canine bait. Odog says, LOL, Benz, they're bitches until they're level 4 bond. And Nathaniel says, I wonder where Starhearts is. Serena, the last I heard, was on her way to Bullet Town, doing a run for the local warlord, Immortan Joe. And if anyone knows what movie I'm referencing, you will win chat comment of the night. Odog says, nothing beats a warhorse. Run over cougars and gators. And Will says, nah, you got it right. By the way, I found you by showing me tricks on how to get the silver dapple Pinto Missouri Foxtrotter. My favorite. My favorite as well, Will. Appreciate you being here. And I'm glad the Albert Mason exploit still works for you. Brett says, Super Antonio, in your opinion, what is the most overrated and underrated horse breed? The Tennessee Walkers are very underrated, especially the Gold Palomino and the, what is that, the Red Roan? Those are very pretty horses. And and the overestimated ones, like the most popular horses for the casual players are the Arabians, and I would have to say that they are the most overestimated. Well, also the Turkomans. Don't love the neck flap, the neck flop on the Turkomans. Pretty coats though. Metro is here and says, oops, Arthur took a bump. Yes, he did, Metro. Ben says, Cruz, I respect your opinion. For me, if I'm going for a high-tier horse, I'll grab my good old Silver Dapple Pinto Missouri Foxtrotter Wendigo. That's a cool name. Odog says, not Super Antonio, but my experience. Oh, Odog, we're always interested in your experience, and you represent Super Antonio as a mod. So you don't have to say that. Overrated Arabian, underrated Hungarian half-bred, and black standard bred. Yeah, I love the HHs. Ben says, for me, my stable has always been Seal Brown Dutch Warm Blood, Brown Leopard Appaloosa, Tiger Stripe Mustang, and Dapple Pinto Missouri Foxtrotter. That is a fine stable. And Cruz says, underrated is Nakota. Yeah, Nakotas are like little sports cars. They're fast as a bullet. They're a lot like Arabians. They're kind of like, to me, they're like a combo between a Mustang and Arabian. They have the prettiness of an Arabian and the the speed and the ferocity of a Mustang. And here's the Barrel Rider. We made a short out of this lady. It didn't do as well as I thought it would. Aren't you interested in the Barrel Rider? Odog says, Cruz, I used to think that till I got a thoroughbred, and Callum says, kinda want to go for a Breton horse to end my bad honor playthrough with John. Such an underrated horse breed in story mode. And FBC says, I have a male Foxtrotter as Arthur. David says, Dark Bay Andalusian from the Strawberry Stables. And Cruz says, Thoroughbred was my main for my first playthrough. Ben says, I always name the Missouri Foxtrotter Wendigo because winter like its spots, and the Wendigo is a Native American folklore monster, which is my favorite myth. And Cruz says, I have a thing for speed, guys. I'm like, Ricky Bobby, if you ain't first, you're last. That's funny. And Odog says, Thoroughbreds are very, very underrated. That Warp Brindle and Reverse Dapple are hard to beat. Besides a black standard bred and warhorse. And Ben says to Cruz, shake and bake. Odog says, great horse, Davey. No, Serena sent me her cat pictures. Bella, the one who passed away, and the new one, Fluffy, who is very fluffy. She's super cute. Just a little kitten. She looks like a little ball of fur. Odog says, Missouri Foxtrotter smokes Arabians and is braver. Callum says, going to try to catch up some sleep at 10:30 for my haircut. Hopefully, I'm up. Well done, Callum. Looking sharp. For the ladies. Bath ladies. Well, hopefully not all bath ladies, but you know what I mean. We do punch up the color on the shorts, but this is basically what the kind of light we're looking for. Ben says, I love Ricky Bobby. My favorite quote is, "There a bag of Colombian Bam Bam under that car and the cops are already coming. What are you going to do?" O-Dog says, Amber Champagne Foxtrotter isn't brave, but Biscuit smokes any Arabian. And Callum says, always for the ladies. Ha ha. Yeah, I know, Callum. Know exactly what you mean. O-Dog says, it's not rare, FBC, if you use the version 1 trick, the Sandini horse glitch. Miko says, I'd rather ride a Nakota than an Arabian. They look sturdier, and Arthur looks better on them. Callum says, anyways, good night, Super Antonio. Have a good night or evening. Not sure what time it is for you. I'll most likely be in the Sunday stream. I like the Sunday streams. Callum, the Sunday streams like you. You have a great night. Enjoy your haircut. We will also be doing the Few Spotted Appaloosa horse show on Saturday. I put Karen in the thumbnail. FBC says, I'm talking about the silver dapple pinto coat. Cruz says, Grandpa, I'ma come at you like a spider monkey. And O-Dog says, Miko, I agree. Miko says, night, Callum. And Ben says, I still go out and style barber shop. I still go to an old school barber shop. So I guess I'm a geezer. All my friends go to salons. I'm not a geezer, Benz. You're a man. O-Dog says, the blue roan is beautiful. O-Dog, the blue roan says, you're beautiful. Miko says, hey, David, O-Dog. And Ben says, night, Callum. O-Dog says, later, Callum. Callum says, and will you be progressing in the Bad Honor playthrough? It would be nice to see Arthur in Chapter 3. You're going to see him in Chapter 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're going to take this Arthur to his logical end. Ben says, let's see, O-Dog says, welcome, Miko. And Ben says, sup, Miko. And Cruz says, you guys just don't appreciate the agility of the Arabian. Well, you know, it's a very popular horse for the channel. So I appreciate it on that level. Callum says, good night, Benz, Miko, and O-Dog. Have a good night, lads, with muscle, 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 or bicep, 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 or those maybe drumsticks, chicken drumsticks. Can't really tell. Nathaniel says, I'll be back. We'll be here, Nathaniel. We'll be here for about another hour. Miko says, hey there, Ben's Cruz Christian. Hope and FBC. Yes, hope is in the chat. Our chat is full of hope. David says, CSC, and Cruz says, hi, Miko, later, Callum. Christian says, night, Callum. Get some good rest now. And David says, Miko. O-Dog says, because Arabians were the business when the game was new. But it's very inferior to a black standardbred Biscuit and all but the red thoroughbred and the war horses. Told you we had some Bad Honor in this. Got some mint tea tonight. Christian says, hello, Miko, how are you? And we need to deal with this witness. Cruz says, that's cool. Never knew about that flyer of the barrel lady. Yeah. See, Cruz? I knew people would be interested in this. Her name is Desiree Laflamme. Let's move on. 20 viewers in the chat. Happy Friday. Your Friday is my Monday. We shall be streaming all weekend long and on Monday for Marston Mondays. I added my Amazon affiliate link in the pinned comment and under the video descriptions. If you're shopping on Amazon, it's a very easy way to support the channel at no additional cost to you. And hello, here are some wolves. You just click on the link, click on my link, and you don't have to buy that product. Obviously, I would get a commission if you buy that product, but if you buy any product, I'll get a commission within 24 hours. So if you're going to be shopping on Amazon anyways, why not use my link to get you there? Also, well, it's like a penny, but I get a commission if you guys just click on the link and go to the site. And it's like a fragment of a penny, like a tenth of a penny, but it all adds up over time. Pennies add up. Odog says, LOL, nice headbutt. Yeah, Arthur likes his headbutts. Christian says, Super Antonio, do you think John should have been given more missions on Red Dead Redemption 2? No. That was a perfect amount. Perhaps even 10% more than he should have had. John has a whole game. And this isn't John's game. This is Arthur's game. Cruz says, maybe it's just the Arabian works for me because of my play style. I don't fast travel much. I don't play much missions, so combat on horse is not a priority to me. Yeah, if you want to get across the map fast, the Arabian is your best bet. Odog says, on 7 playthroughs, I've owned every Arabian except the Rose Grey. Simply lost interest in the breed as they toss you when a bear, gator, or cougar shows up. Yeah, but that's part of the fun. Like, this Black Arabian just tossed us when we encountered all those wolves. Ben says, every thoroughbred I've had has been so skittish. That has not been my experience. And Cruz says, Odog, I only get bucked rarely, Odog, when surprised attacked. Handling the Arabian when it's fleeing is second nature to me, unless I'm really frustrated, LOL. Odog says the reverse dapple is okay. It's no Ardennes, though. Those are nice, solid, dinosaur-looking horses for Arthur. Not for me. The Ardennes, that is. Odog says, post a live of hunting and let us laugh at that little pony. And David says, use the free Iron Grey a lot. The Iron Grey Ardennes. And Ben says, the difference across the map between Morgan and Arabian is 17 seconds. So I use whatever. Go guns blazing into town on my Blackshire Samson. So whatever tickles your fancy. And Cruz says, I'm surprised you don't do much harvesting herbs on your Super Antonio on your playthrough. Mint and thyme are the only herbs we're really interested in. Though we do always have ginseng in our satchel in case we get bit by a snake. But yeah, we don't do much herbal crafting. It's not interesting to me, not in this game. It's way more interesting than The Witcher. Odog says, right, David, same. And Odog says, simply barrel over cougars and gators. And David has the moondog emoticons. Odog says, the Black Shire is a great ride too. Yes, and you get him from Hosea. Very sentimental about that. The unruly bastard. A little night riding in the snow. You need to make it back to Lake Isabella and camp. Get some daylight. Ben says, I make the Shire look like an actual warhorse, black mohawk. If only I could paint it like one. Odog says, LOL, that's what I call mine or Hosea. Cruz says, I guess I'm weird because I enjoy harvesting herbs and making coffee and potent bitters. No, you play the game the way you want to play the game. That's why there's so much crafting. Some people enjoy crafting, going through the, finding the items, crafting, making them. It's a very basic game mechanic that works over and over. Find a thing, assemble a thing, and get your reward from the thing, which is usually some sort of benefit, a problem solving, or a buff, or an enhancement. Cruz says, to drink as the days pass by. But yeah, that's, it's a classic video game strategy. Ben says, my dream in this game is I wish you were walking around with coffee. You could splash it on an NPC. Imagine that to start a bar fight. And Odog says, I enjoy the crafting too. Well, the crafting in The Witcher 3 is next level. It's very complicated. There are recipes for everything. David says, Master Hunter 10 gave me a problem this time. The Giaguaro? David? What kind of problem? You make a save right before you start. That's what I do. And explosive rounds in either Bolty or the Springfield. Also a potent health tonic, and a gold hardcore, and you'll definitely survive the first hit. That'll give you time to refocus. And you don't have to go for a headshot with a legendary. Just need to blast it. You could hit it with incendiaries if you want. You won't damage the pelt. If you want to definitely one-shot that thing. I just try to headshot it because it makes for a cooler video. But if I weren't making a video, I'd probably hit it with incendiaries. Don't even give it a chance. But yeah, minty big game, gold core, gold health core. Can't go wrong. Then the time big game for the Deadeye gold core. Oregano big game will give you a stamina gold core, but I don't really feel we need that. You don't really need a gold core and stamina. Ben says, I saw a mod I wish I could download, Red Dead 2, but Arthur has Glock 19s. Well, that's more of a John gun, but I can understand it. Odog says, that warhorse you get in the wild in Roanoke Ridge is a great horse. The Perlino Andalusian. Cruz says, it would have been cool if you could also smoke cigarettes, cigars longer. I'm sure that is some sort of FDA regulation that you can't show it for more than 5 seconds. I'm sure. I'm absolutely certain there's some kind of problem with that. Because you can't even really show smoking in movies anymore or on TV shows. You have to have a warning before it, trigger warning. There's tobacco. It's interesting because there's smoking of other herbal products, the devil's lettuce, as Callum would say, that is promoted and supported. And that's good. But smoking tobacco, which has been around, well, I guess also the devil's lettuce has been around, but that's bad. That causes cancer. But the other one is good for some reason. What's that about? David says, I was all gold. Always use explosives for the legendary. Same, David. And FBC says, you're my favorite YouTuber that plays this game. I appreciate that, David. This is my favorite game of all time. Even though we're doing a Witcher 3 playthrough on Wednesdays. On Wednesdays, we Witcher. Cruz says, minty time, big game. A piece of bread or a can of corn and a can of strawberry last. Then Finlay, give your horse some hay. The life of the cowboy. Then finally give your horse some hay. The life of a cowboy. The life indeed, Cruz. Odog says, yeah, the Perlino Andalusian. I had a playthrough with that horse. Fantastic. Ben says, when I play as Johnny, use the Red Dead 1 cover art outfit. It's such a cool outfit to use with the sawed-off shotgun. Yeah, that's iconic. Odog says, I think I'll switch from the Dapple Grey Hungarian to the Andalusian as my secondary. And Cruz says, the devil's lettuce is promoted and supported on media because the fines are hefty for using it in the U.S. if caught, from what I've seen. Uncle Sam wants his cheddar. Okay, that makes sense, I guess. And Brett says, Super Antonio, what is your favorite sitcom? Parks and Rec. I love that one. And also Frasier. Kelsey Grammer's voice. He has a beautiful voice. And it's just so clever. The writing is so clever. And Frasier. What else? I do like comedies. Those are the only two I can think of right now. I have Parks and Recs on DVD. That's how much I like it. And also I don't have a subscription to Netflix. And then there are, of course, a lot of British comedies I like. I like British humor. I like the irony and the sarcasm. Ben says, I once had a 90% save file. My current is 88.9. Not that bad for messing around and free roaming and not doing challenges. David says, the Flaxen HH is a good horse. That used to be my favorite horse. 21 viewers in the chat. Welcome, friends. Happy Friday. On Fridays, we free roam with the Bad Honor Arthur. Even though currently we're just exploring nature and trying to get some nature photography. Ben says, I used to watch 2.5 Men. Call me tasteless. I never really watched that one, but, I don't really like Charlie Sheen. I mean, I liked him, I liked him in Platoon. I suppose I liked him as an actor, but I'm sure it was funny. Christian says, FBC tried to beat me. I have 2,740 hours in Red Dead 2. What about you, Super Antonio? What are your hours in Red Dead 2? No idea, Cruz. No, or Christian, no idea. However, I will be telling you that I've been playing this game since release, literally every day. I play every day, and I have over 2,000 videos on the channel. So I have that many hours. Also 10 million views. So can I count all the viewers that have watched my playthroughs in their hours, in my hours of playthrough? Because technically they're watching my playthrough, but we scaled it up. So that would be 10 million hours at least. Cruz says there's always money in the banana stand. Yeah, Cruz, Arrested Development. That, you know, when Billy D. Williams passed away, I had to watch some of his he was the acting coach for that brother. I forget that brother's name. Not Job. The other one. The father or the mother son dance. That was a good one. And when the mom says, "What does a banana cost? $7?" There's always money in the banana. Egg. Remember Egg? Haven't seen that one in a long time, but it was funny. I enjoyed it. Arrested Development. Highly recommended. It's probably on Netflix. Christian says, so you probably have years of playing Red Dead 2. I would play that too. Also, I miss Arthur. Closed shotgun coat on release. Cruz says, the mama's boy. Yeah. What was his name? I'm looking it up. Buster Bluth. Tobias Funke. Tobias's acting coach was Billy D. Williams, playing a parody of himself, and he was really good at it. He didn't offer any acting advice. He just had recipes for all the craft services. His acting advice was steal everything you can from craft services because you can make a stew out of it. You got yourself a stew. And I was watching 30 Rock for a while. I never finished it, but I was enjoying it. But I do enjoy Parks and Rec more. FBC says you should get the White Arabian. Well, we were trying to get footage of the White Arabian, but without actually getting it. That's why we're up here. I just wanted the White Arabian frolicking in the snow, but you can't get close enough. Moving on. And because it's the Bad Honor playthrough, we have the Black Arabian. Ben says Red Dead 2 should have had a new game. Plus, if I did it, I would have started again to get Buell. But I don't want to lose my stuff, so I don't even bother. And FBC says, or not. Well, we'll get him in another playthrough. Cruz says, never finished 30 Rock. I should have given Tina Fey a chance. Although it would have been different watching Alec Baldwin nowadays, for me at least. Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way about, what's his name? Will Smith. He ruined his body of work with that slap. So I can't watch his movies anymore. I'm just so disappointed in him. But the same with Jada Pinkett Smith. I hate her. And she's in Gotham. So I was trying to watch Gotham because I'd never watched it all the way through. and she has a big role in Gotham, and I can't stand her because I blame Jada Pinkett Smith for bringing Will Smith down. And then I'm mad at the entire movie industry for like giving him a standing ovation and awarding him that Oscar that night. What's that about? Anybody else, they would have been escorted off site immediately and pretty much banned from the Academy Awards. It shouldn't have gone to him. Why wasn't it considered? It should have gone to the runner-up. Ben says, although it would be funny if Red Dead 2 has a new game, plus to see Arthur in the opening cutscene with a golden M1899 and pump shotgun. And Cruz says, yeah, what Jada did was dishonorable. Odak says, I don't hold it against Will. You can't be disrespectful sometimes. Yeah, but you could do it at the after party. You could, you don't have to air your business, your dirty laundry on national TV. There's ways to handle that. Odak says, I'm more mad at Chris Rock. It was a very harmless joke. And plus, Demi Moore was pretty in G.I. Jane. It's a flattering reference. And a little bit... And, it does kind of make fun of her. But she opened herself up when she talked about it, It was common knowledge. And it was a very lame joke. Cruz says, Chris Rock didn't know about Jada's alopecia. I believe he did, Cruz. And Odak says, my blackness won't allow Will to be disrespectful. Where you show out is where you get worked out. Okay, yeah, I can understand that. Christian says, Super Antonio, how was your Friday? I hope it went well, because you are always with Sadie. And yes, it did. It went quite well. But as I said earlier, your Friday is my Monday. We got to get back to work. Let's move on. We get back to work, start the live streams, craft thumbnails for the live streams. Cruz says Will Smith could have just unfollowed Chris on Instagram. Yeah, unfollow. Thumbs down. Yeah, I would handle it differently personally, but also their marriage at that point was a sham. They're not even together. So who are you defending? She probably didn't even want to be there with him, O-Dog. She doesn't support him. She had an affair with Jaden's best friend. Who does that? O-Dog says she's got an illness that he made a joke on. You don't cross that line. And Cruz says, if Chris did know, then that changes everything. But it was so long ago. It's in the past. And O-Dog says, nah, that's me. That's weak. Screw social media. Ben says, I had fun streaming today. I would tell you all my friends' Twitch account name, but it's just left me. And FBC says, where are you going now? We are doing some nature photography. Getting some views of the Dakota River and Donner Falls. Perfect light right now. O-Dog says, your dignity and respectfulness. And O-Dog says, if I talk about your mom on stage, you check me. You don't let that fly. Yeah, I can understand that, O-Dog. I can absolutely understand that. It's all a matter of perspective. And these trains kept getting Arthur when we were trying to photograph. So Arthur got mad at them. Odog says it's no different here, and Cruz says he was an R&B singer. Those guys know what the ladies are like. LOL. FBC says, today was my final day of high school. Off to college now. Well done, FBC. What are you studying? Odog says, she may not be the S word, but that's still his life partner. For now. I'll swear on the second channel, but I tried not to swear on this channel. Cruz says, I agree, Odog. However, it's contingent on whether Chris Rock knew or not, which makes the situation blurry to me on how to go about it. And Ben says, I could never get into Will Smith's songs. Eminem's diss towards him in Real Slim Shady was funny, though. And Odog says, congrats to FBC. See, just look at this gorgeous view. It's just magnificent. How cool would that be to see in real life? I dream about this game sometimes. So I don't show you the shorts, but I literally stand there for 60 seconds and just film. And then we take that, punch up the colors, put it on YouTube with a title like "Relaxing, Chill Mountain View of Waterfalls at Donner Pass" in Red Dead Redemption 2 or something like that. Summertime was a classic, Odog says. Yeah. That's a good song. And Odog says, still is. Nathaniel Williams is back. FBC says, I'm studying biology. Christian is having trouble with science. Do you have any tips for him? FBC. David says, good job, FBC. On to the next. You know, I dated a marine biologist for a while. She was not using her degree. Well, she was not using the marine biology, the marine part of her degree. She was using the biology part. She was working in biotech. Cruz says, what do you dream about when you dream about this game, Super Antonio? Usually it's YouTube related, like, you know, like I used to dream about Biscuit a lot. Like new areas to find Biscuit, to spawn her alive. I remember I had that dream once. But yeah, I'll just like dream of the landscape. David says, yes it is, Moondog. And Odog says, FBC, you nerd. Just kidding. I love astronomy myself. Yes, Odog is our astronomy correspondent for all things star related. Ben says, and when Will Smith finally swore in his song, he beeped it out. Eminem said he doesn't have to cuss to sell records, but I do. So F him and F you too. It was funny to me. Yeah, that is funny. Odog says, not a big fan of M either. The black community isn't really a fan. Yeah, he was more of a crossover Odog, I believe. Cruz says, back when I was still stressing about a bad work environment and long work hours, this game was my escape. Getting lost in the map was amazing back then. Yeah, I love the open world here, Cruz. And I'm sorry you were stressing out about work. I hope it got better for you. Ben says, my dream about this game was I was an NPC in Rhodes General Store and Arthur broke in and robbed the place. It was a scary dream. Yeah, I don't have dreams like that. I just have like first person open world exploration where I'm actually in the dream. I'm actually in the game. But I assume that's just because I'm like so focused on this game with the channel, and I spend so many hours playing it. Christian says, just heard you say, wish Serena was star, wish Serena was here. We are all missing her, I believe. And she did tell me she is getting slightly better. Yeah, she sent me pictures of her cats. Bella, the one that passed, and Fluffy, the little kitten, who is indeed very fluffy. Super cute. Odog says, LL Cool J was my first. Ladies love Cool James. Are you proud that I know that, Odog? Are you impressed? And Ben says, what I like about Eminem is that if you diss him, tread super lightly or you'll get cooked up in his next song. Odog says, KRS is the god MC. KRS-One, I know the name, can't think of any songs right now. Cruz says, yeah, Odog, KRS is one of the founders of hip hop, rap. And Ben says, my dad was an Ice Cube, Bone Thugs and Harmony, and Dr. Dre guy. So that is all passed down to me. Ice Cube, he's like a family man now. I mean, he makes comedies. But yeah, I mean, back in the 80s, he was like part of that crew. Dr. Dre and Snoop and Nathaniel says, have a good night, everyone. I'm heading out. Talk to you all later. And David says, cheers. See ya, Nat. Have a good night. Yeah. Nathaniel, appreciate you being here. And you have a great night. Have a great weekend. Odog says, because its music isn't mainstream, it's for the culture. It's for our enlightenment. Sadly, our eyes are closed. Well said, Odog. Cruz says, I'm more of a Uga-ka 3-6 Mafia type of guy. I'm not sure who Uga-ka is. Unified Glory Killer. And Odog says, later, Nate. Personally, I'm more of an Oasis, Coldplay, Roy Orbison, Johnny Cash type. Rap isn't really my music of choice. FBC says, what time is this stream going to end? We have about 30 more minutes. FBC. Cruz says to Odog, gold grills, candy paint cars, chrome rims, sport engines. Gets me going, LOL. And I'm sure the bath ladies that are surrounding those cars. Odog says, most of any artist after 1995 is a sellout. It's hard to argue with that, Odog. And Ben says to Cruz, my dad is a huge 3-6 Mafia fan as well. He had some old 90s burner CDs, so we listened to them while I was 9. The Insane Clown Posse came on, and I was traumatized from the lyrics. I know about the ICP, but I don't consider myself a follower. Odog says, trash, Cruz, that's not what the culture is about. And Cruz says, when I'm feeling somber, I'll listen to Coldplay, Nirvana, etc. Yeah, I do like Coldplay. And Nirvana, of course. Hortus says, where'd you folks meet? The Freak Show? Greetings, Hort. Appreciate you, friend. Happy Friday. Glad you made it. We're just kind of hanging around, talking about rap and Will Smith. And what's for dinner? FBC asks, are you going to stream tomorrow? Yes, we are doing a horse show featuring the few spotted Appaloosa. Hodok says, sup, Hort. Hort, what's for dinner? Did I ask you that? And I had a movie reference that you would have gotten, Hortus, which I will tell again. Cruz says, okay, Odog, agree to disagree. The 3-6 first rap group. 3-6 are the first rap group to win a Grammy. And Christian says, hey, Super Antonio, I'm not sure if you know, but Serena once said once she gets better, maybe me and her will be able to play together. I'm really looking forward to playing with Serena. It would be lots of fun. Yeah, just keep on. I'm sure you will once she gets better. She's always online. Ben says, my friend is a quote-unquote juggalo. Yeah, that's what they call it. I couldn't think of that. Which is what they call their fans. And Odog says, Super Antonio, the record label conglomerates gathered for a meeting and killed the message real artists were putting in the music. It's the same thing that's happening in Florida, where they're trying to stop the teaching of history. And Hortus says, talking music tonight, eh? I'm not a rap fan. And Hortus says, don't know what dinner will be tonight. I still got another hour till I get home. And Odog says, Cruz, this awards don't mean the poop emoticon to us. And FBC says the horse show is where people show their horses in the game and in real life, right? No, we show one horse. Next week, or this Saturday, we're going to feature the few spotted Appaloosa. So technically it's my horse show, not the viewer horse show. Odog says, they don't dictate anything on the ground level. And Ben says, I've always been into rock, mostly grunge. My two favorites are Soundgarden and Alice in Chains. I love Rooster and their album Dirt. And Odog says, don't let the lights and glamour blind and fool you. Words to live by. So, Hortus, Christian asked where Serena was. And I told them that the last I heard, Serena was in her rig doing a run to Bullet Town for the local warlord, Immortan Joe. But nobody understood what I was talking about. But I know you do, Hort. I know you do. Cruz says, Odog, the soundtrack was great for the movie they produced. Meant to say Oscars, LOL. The thing about taking these shorts, the nature photography, is I like to be high up. I like to get a scenic vista. I mean, ground level kind of works if you're looking up at something high up. But you know, to make it interesting for the viewer, you know, I like to have like running water, and I like to, you know, we'll punch up the colors to make the sky blue and really pop. But I believe like filming from a high point is visually interesting because the eye knows that you're somewhere you're somewhere high. If that makes sense. Where were you when we were getting high? An Oasis reference. Hortus says Mad Max, Fury Road. They really should have called it Imperator Furiosa, Fury Road, co-starring Mad Max. It really wasn't Mad Max's movie. But I'm not complaining. David says Hort. Hortus says Fury Road, to be specific. Yeah, I like making up stories about Serena when she's not in the chat. It amuses me. Cruz says, I'll be watching the Furiosa movie when it releases. George Miller is the director. Yeah, the new one with that girl. I like her. Anya or Anna Taylor-Joy. She's got like eyes over here. But they work on her. She's very pretty. Ben says, I've always liked old songs that told stories. Metallica's one told a story about a soldier who lost everything. Alice in Chains' song Rooster talks about Vietnam. I really like storytelling in songs. Hortus says, from the director of Happy Feet comes Furiosa. Hortus also Babe, which is the sweetest, most vegan movie ever produced. He did Babe. What's that about? Hortus says shark eyes. Yeah, she has shark eyes.
Okay, girl.
But they work on her. But I imagine if I were dating her, they'd get really annoying after a while. But that's just me. And I apologize in advance. David has a shark emoticon. He appreciates you, O-Dog. Cruz says, I think she's Argentinian too. Yes, she speaks Espanol perfectly. Cruz says she speaks Spanish in an interview. Yeah. Hortus says, I've listened to the same song on average every day for the last year. What song, Hort? The theme from The Sopranos. Woke up this morning, got myself a gun. I listened to that. I loved that song. I love The Sopranos. But I haven't given it a rewatch. I hope it... I don't know if it would hold up. I hope it would. You know what I am giving a rewatch currently is American Horror Story Freak Show. Because I literally cannot remember how it ended. And I watched it. I've seen it. But I don't remember. I don't remember it at all. It's been cleared from my cache. And I'm enjoying it thoroughly. Even though I would describe the American Horror series on the whole as sordid, which is defined as marked by baseness or grossness, vile. And yeah, it's just, it's dark, it's, it's decadent, it's, it appeals to baser instincts. It is definitely not wholesome. I mean, I'm enjoying it, but there are lots of scenes where I have to shut Sadie's eyes and pull her ears down so she can't watch it because I'm a little bit embarrassed and disappointed in myself for enjoying this so much. Where are we? Hortus says it's a cover of the Genesis song Jesus, He Knows Me by the Swedish pop rock band Ghost. And Nahayan Amin says, I'm doing the story too. I got the Legend of the East Satchel for the first time. Well done, Nahayan. Ben says, when I was thinking about my favorite vampire movie, I was saying it was definitely Dusk Till Dawn. Then I remembered The Lost Boys, the vampire movie of all time. Peak 80s, The Lost Boys. And Hortus says, Anya Taylor-Joy has a small cameo in Dune 2. I did not know that. And Mama One is here. Mama One says, hey, everyone. Everyone says, say hi to Mama One. And Nahayan says, it's a really good season there. It's a great Nirvana cover. David says, there she is. Mama One, Sadie is in her crate currently, but we shall summon her with some potent canine bait. Okay, turn around, look at the camera, and say hi to Mama One and David and Hort. Say hi to Hort. Say hi, Hort. Tell everyone to like and subscribe. Can you hear it chew? Tell everyone to click on the Amazon link. You don't have to buy that product, but if you are shopping on Amazon, I will get a commission on any product you buy at no additional cost to you. It's a really easy way to support the channel. Ben says, I've heard a bit of Ghost, wasn't really a fan. Mama One says, what horse is this? This is the Black Arabian. And Odog says, hi, M1. Beautiful condition. Keep it up. Hortus says, I like Ghost for the most part. Their harder songs are the best. Not so keen on their mellower stuff. And hi, Mama One says, hi, David, and hey, Odog. Ben says, when I think of Ghost, I think of earlier Ghost. To me, that was Ghost. Hortus says, horse looks like the black standard bred. It might be, Hort. It might be. Let's see if it's got a blaze. Thanks, partner. Yeah, that is the black standard bred. No, actually, that is the Arabian. The black standard bred is all black. FBC says, where is Doc? Where indeed? Doc Skullhammer is always missed. I don't make up stories about him because it just seems disrespectful because he's an elder statesman of the chat and the channel. Mama One says, Sadie, it's great to see you, and you too, Super Antonio. It's great to see you, Mama One. Appreciate you being here. Ben says, I've mostly been waiting for my new dog to be born. I forgot you have to wait 8 weeks after birth to get them. And Ben says, take a shot every time I said Ghost. Hortus says, oh, white patch on the forehead. It is the Arabian. Yes. Mama One says, you can get them early, Ben's. 2 weeks is the youngest. Just feed them with an eyedropper. So cute. Sadie was overfed when I got her. I had to put her on a diet. Well, actually, I just had to give her they were feeding her really cheap adult dog food. Because they gave me a big 20-pound sack that I threw away of just, I don't know, Costco brand dog food. And I got her on specific Blue Buffalo puppy chow. And started feeding her real actual food, right? White rice or rice, chicken, eggs, beef. Yeah. I got her and she was 38 pounds and a little chubby. Don't tell her I said that. And I got her down to 34 pounds. And now she is full grown at 50 pounds. Ben says, my granny has an obese beagle. That is the most circular dog I've ever seen, which is sad because I love beagles. They're super cute dogs and smart. But it's really easy to overfeed just because you care about them and they like to eat and they show affection with food. You know, they're treat-based, reward-based. Hortus says, I've been on a bit of a white zombie, Rob Zombie kick lately. Dead, I am the one. I don't remember the lyrics to that one. That's Dracula, right? Dracula lyrics. Dead, I am the one exterminating sun. Slipping through the trees, strangling in the breeze. Dead I am the sky, watching angels cry, while they slowly turn, conquering the worm. He's so much better at music and music videos than he is as a director. But I've seen all his movies anyways, because I used to love Rob Zombie. And Hort says, all because of a dumb joke that made me listen to Dracula again. Mama One says, had to do it years ago. We had a female dog who had puppies, but got hit by a car. We were able to save all the pups. Well done, Mama One. Horta says, I used to think I wanted a beagle, then I spent some time with one, and the desire went away. And Horta says, haha, exterminating sun, slipping through the trees, strangling the breeze. And I remember, I mean, it just seemed, for the start of the Living Dead Girl, I assume it's Sherry Moon Zombie. She just kind of whispers, what are you thinking of? And she goes, same thing you are. And, you know, that just seemed so erotic to me as a young lad. I was like, wow, okay, thank you. But yeah, Living Dead Girl, that's still one of my favorite covers. I mean album covers. I have it on vinyl. Ben says, same Hort, I've been listening to weird old rock and metal such as Rob Zombie. Listen to Dragula while I play zombie games with guns. Fits really well. Hortus says, I never saw House with 1,000 Corpses or Three from Hell. They're peak Rob Zombie. It's just like watching a video, one of his videos. And also, you get to see a lot of Sherry Moon Zombie, if you know what I mean. Nahayan says Rob Zombie did a really cool trailer for AC Unity as well. I had no idea. I should watch that. And Mark says, howdy, howdy cowpokes. Greetings, Mark. Rob Zombie, it's an old song, or like, let's see, well, let's go to his channel. Yeah, it's from a year ago, Hort. Shake your ass and smoke your grass. It's only 3 minutes long. I wish we could show it. It's a cartoon, and it looks like his illustrations, or it's based on his illustrations. And it's very addictive to watch. It's just crazy and absurd and ridiculous. But if you like cartoons, like old school cartoons, and if you like Rob Zombie, David and Hort and Benz, you will like that. It's on his channel. David says, Mark, Mama once says, my brother had a beagle. That dog was fat. Lived till like 19 though. He got so lazy that if someone would come to the door, he would just bark and howl from the bed in the kids' room. Who is it? Hortus says, I saw The Devil's Rejects and his Halloween movies. Yeah, you need to see House of 1,000 Corpses. You'll like it. And Ben says, dig through the ditches in the back of my Dragula. Christian says, Super Antonio, has Sadie, when you first got her, ever caused problems for you? Not necessarily problems, but she was very, very undisciplined. She didn't mind. She didn't come when called. She barely knew her name. She was just running wild. Also, she was teething, so she was chewing on literally everything. So, yeah, we just had to like start, I had to start immediately disciplining her, or not in a mean way. She just needed more discipline and structure in her life. Hortus says he made the drug trip sequence in Beavis and Butthead movie. That was really cool. Yeah, Hort, you need to watch that video. It's on his channel. And Ben says, I used to watch old horror movies with my Nana. My favorites were Christine, Joyride, and The Car. And Mark says, David, Mama once says how to get the dynamite arrow as Arthur. It is under a bridge at the Wapiti reservation. So you need the recipe, and it's under a broken bridge at the I would say the southern side. I got videos on it. I should, but it's really easy to get. And then once you know it, of course, you can have 8 dynamite arrows, and then you can get 8 dynamites. So I always craft dynamite arrows at the fence so we can reload, and then just have a full complement of dynamite arrows and dynamite. Because Arthur likes his dynamite. Ben says, my favorite old style cartoon was Ed, Ed and Eddie. I love old cartoons, especially 9902 especially. I'm not sure what 9902. I liked the original X-Men, not the remake that they're doing now. What other cartoons did I like? That's the only one I can think of right now. But, I like cartoons. I like, Miyazaki movies. But those aren't really cartoons. Those are like the graphic novel of cartoons. Hortus says to Mama One, you have to get the recipe pamphlet from the loot box. Christian says, hello, Mama One. Hope you're doing well. And your day is going great for you and your husband. Tell him I hope he is well. All the best to both of you. With a heart emoticon. Ben says the Beavis and Butthead movie was awesome. That's how I found out about Ozzy's song Walk on Water. Mama One says, anybody use homing tomahawks or knives? No, I don't really. Just for the challenge. I'll craft them for the challenge, but I don't really need them. But it's like I only use throwing knives if I actually have to. If I absolutely have to. I much prefer just to blast them away with good old lanky. Though I do for that marksman challenge, I have a really funny video. I love the name of it. I called it in the thumbnail. It's called "Knife to Meet You," where you have to you have to get like 3 in 5 seconds or 5 in 3 seconds. I'm not sure. I don't remember right now. David says, don't get into my car expecting love songs. We dig through the ditches and burn through the witches in there. Yes, David is a big Rob Zombie fan. Mark says, if Arthur goes back to the burned down Adler Ranch, you can farm platinum jewelry. Yes, you can, Mark. We should make a video on that. Hortus says, I use throwing knives pretty regularly. I like to make the improved ones. Odog says, yeah, I'm not feeling the new X-Men 97. Yeah, I haven't really watched it. I just watched a bunch of views, and, it's just modern media is not for me. And Odog is laughing with Davey. Hortus says, I just watched the first episode of the new Fallout show on Amazon. What did you think, Hort? I've been watching American Horror Story Season 4, I believe, Freak Show. That's what I've been watching on Amazon. Mama once says to Christian, hello, Christian, we are doing amazing. So happy to see you here. And my husband says, hey, shout out to Papa One and thank him for his service. Mark says, have you ever seen Drag Me to Hell? It's a good flick. Yeah, I've seen it. I liked it. Didn't like the boyfriend, though. I forget his name, but I don't like that actor. It's a visceral response to me. I just don't like him. Same with Channing Tatum. Though I like him in The Hateful Eight. Odog says, I listen to a few genres, but lately lots of R&B and soul, or sports radio on Sirius. Odog, take a good look at my face. You'll see my smile looks out of place. If you look a little bit closer, it's easy to trace the tracks of my tears. Ben says, I loved watching the original X-Men cartoon. My favorite character was Toad. 5-year-old me loved gross out humor, so when he would catch a fly, it was hilarious. Hortus says, 3 throwing knife kills in 10 seconds, weapons expert 2. Yes, Hort, I called it Knife to Meet You, and to this day is still one of my favorite thumbnail titles. Mama One says, I've never seen homing tomahawks used. Do they really hone in on someone? Yeah, it's just like an enhanced tomahawk. It's an eagle feather, I believe. But again, I only use them for challenges. Hortus says, homing aren't really homing. They're just able to be thrown from further away. Mama One says, okay, waste of time to craft them then. And Mama One says, Papa One says, hey, and he asks Super Antonio what your top 3 movies are. That's hard. Off the top of my head, I would say Pulp Fiction, Psycho by Alfred Hitchcock. But I like a lot of Alfred Hitchcock's. He's one of my favorite directors. My favorite Western is probably Tombstone from 96, 94, the one with Kurt Russell. But I love movies. I love, there's so many. Blade Runner, Alien, John Carpenter is one of my favorite directors. The Thing by John Carpenter. Odog says, I was really salty how weak animation treats Wolverine. He's nothing like the comic. And Hortus says, owl feather for homing tomahawks. I knew it was an eagle or an owl. And Ben says, I'll have to head out. Everyone be safe and David, keep digging through the ditches. Yes, indeed, David. And Ben's, you have a great night. Appreciate you, friend. Stream's going to end pretty soon anyways. And I appreciate all of you for being here. Hortus says, eagle's feathers are for improved tomahawks and knives. I knew it was for something, Hort. David says, see ya, Benz. And Hort says, and burning through the witches. Mark says, Super Antonio, I didn't know you played horror games. Which is your favorite? The Resident Evil series is my favorite. I love Resident Evil, or Biohazard, as it's known in Japan. And the fun thing, the crafting is very minimal in Resident Evil, but Resident Evil games are more about puzzle solving. It's like puzzle solving with zombies. What's that about? I always just assumed it was like part of the Japanese character. They like puzzles. And Mama One says, how far along story-wise on this stream? Actually, we're coming to an end, Mama One. We've got about a minute. But as always, appreciate you being here. And Arthur meant to do that. Odak says later on, Ben's. Mama One says, definitely want a Resident Evil 7 or 8 playthrough. We have a Resident Evil 3 playthrough on the second channel. Yeah, I love the Resident Evil games. But, it's hard for me to do, just playthroughs for fun. Because, if I'm going to pick up the PS4 controller, for the longest time, it was we just have to focus on this channel and playing this game. Because we're making money on this game. And when I wouldn't consider myself a pro video game player, though technically I kind of am. But, when you make it your job, it's hard to have fun with your hobby. When you make your hobby your job, it's hard to do it for fun. But we are doing a Witcher 3 playthrough on Wednesdays. Because I enjoy that game about as much as this one. I don't really enjoy... Well, actually, yeah, I do enjoy the Resident Evil games as much as this one, but I don't feel that they are comparable in story and beauty and scope to this game. I suppose I'm more sentimental about the Resident Evil games. Mark says my top 3 movies, Midway, Tombstone, and Excalibur, with a very young Helen Mirren, who, as I recall, was not afraid of a little nudity in that movie, Mark. Hortus says, story-wise, the playthrough looks to be still in early Chapter 2. It seems as though he still got auto-tagging Deadeye. Yes, Hortus. Is that what you meant, Mama One? Yeah, we're in Chapter 2. Christian says, we also appreciate you, Super Antonio, and Sadie, the co-host, who is always sleeping on the job and the bad on her streams. She never wants to look at us. Mama One says, Sadie is a legendary animal. Sometimes she's there. Sometimes there's too much action going on. Yes, there's too much activity. Hortus says, oh snap, I just remembered I have to go buy a replacement PS5 controller. Mine got a bad case of stick drift. Hort, use my Amazon link. Okay, it's at the pin. It's in the pinned comment. You don't have to buy that movie. It's The Hateful Eight. But I will get a commission if you're going to buy it from Amazon, from any product that you buy off Amazon. It's a really easy way to support the channel, and Sadie would appreciate it. Come here. Say goodbye to the chat. Hey. She's super asleep. She's not moving. Hop, hop. Hop, hop. Hop, hop. Hop. Come on. Oh, she's so tired. She can't even jump on the chair. She's so tired. Why are we making her say goodbye? Yudha Pranata says, where's Uncle? Uncle is back in camp, currently loafing. That's about all I have for you, friends. Shout out to the mods, David and Odog. Serena was off fighting a kangaroo or slaying a giant spider, so she couldn't be here tonight. Hortus, Mark, Mama One, Papa One, Christian, appreciate all you being here. Miko, of course. Couldn't do it without you, friend. Tomorrow we shall be doing a horse show at 7 p.m. PST featuring the Few Spotted Appaloosa, and we shall have a campfire chat on Sunday. Marston Mondays returns on Mondays, Witcher Wednesdays on Wednesdays. Mark says, I'm at level 21 in Witcher 3. We are at level 15. Appreciate all of you.